I'm here with Stefy Bull in Stefy Bull's gym in Doncaster, and we're here to kind of go over a few of the upcoming fights that he has going on. First of all, mate, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Have you enjoyed being in sunny Doncaster?
I have. It's nice to pick up yesterday, and then I feel like I'm in a dream being in your gym after seeing it on social media.
I think we have a lovely facility. As amateurs, I don't think they realise how blessed they are to be in a facility like this. You've got some fighters that have been, you know, your average amateur gym, when you go up and down, it's like your dungy little small gyms full of sweat, and they're coming in this big posh building with all this fancy equipment. They don't know what, you know, they don't know how lucky they are, but yeah.
Obviously I was interviewing a few of the amateurs, and a few of them turning pro as well. I don't think they could think to be anywhere better than this.
We've got a good setup right from young grassroots. We do kind of a mini eaters session 3 times a week. That's kids between 5 and 10 year old, non-contact, made fun, and then we follow through to beginners boxing, then to carded kids, and then we run it through to senior amateurs now train alongside the pros. So we've got a good setup for development, and these senior amateurs working alongside the pros. We've probably got in and around 15 professionals operating at gym. So they get inspired, you know, when you've got your likes of Terri, Jim, Jason, your Lee Appleyards, all these that are established and have achieved something in boxing. Kids, it's good, it's great for them to be around that in this environment. The old saying, success breeds success kind of thing. So yeah, we've got a good formula, and it runs well.
Well, I think it's a testament to you yourself, Ray, and kind of everyone in the gym for creating that environment.
Yeah, we've got a great amateur setup. We're very lucky that we've got a very good amateur coach, Paul Juros. He were actually Terri's coach, and to be bringing kids through, you know, and bringing them up to pros. But Paul, now we're that busy, a lot of these pros are now turning pro. He's going to be more concentrating on the pros with us. So, but yeah, we've got a great, like you said, we work very hard, and what we do obviously works.
And then, so you said you have kind of 15 pros coming in the gym, obviously a few of those are and then you've got a few amateurs. How many fighters do you think throughout your career do you think you've trained?
Oh God. Jamie, I was blessed. I was still fighting when I was working with Jamie McDonald. I was like 30 years old, and then me and Jamie used to train and box together. So, but I've always worked with, or gave a bit back in local amateur gyms and stuff like that. So it was a natural progression to me. But the amount of fighters over the years, God, I mean, I've been training fighters now like 10, 12, 13 years. So I've had, I won't like to say, at least 50 that we've helped and actually spent time with gyms over years. At least it's probably 100. That's a good question, because if I sat down with a notepad and went through everyone that I've worked with over the years, but blessed, you know, to have the pleasure of working with so many champions and help being a part of their journey. It's a great feeling. So I'm very proud of, you know, the achievements that we have in the gym. Remember, we're just from a little village. We're not in these inner cities with big, you know, with the big attachment areas. It's just we're working with little village. We're in a village, and fighters don't travel here. They're just falling out of their houses and into the gym. So just local kids that we've helped and created champions over years.
And I was talking to Rihanna DeForo's dad before, and he was saying it's that kind of, it shows kind of that village kind of everyone sticks together.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Mickey today, and it does show kind of the environment that you've created. You all do stick together from the outside looking in, especially on social media.
It's like a family, isn't it? So all gyms will get this. When you're in and you're solid, it becomes a family. But like I say, I'm running a family business. My wife manages gym. It's her setup. So we're in and around this all the time. And we villagers, so we don't get out of towners coming in. So we're not. If somebody comes in that door and nobody knows who they are, everybody's looking. Oh, who's that? So we're not, like you say, it is family. Or anybody who walks in gym, I can see him in Asda or Albert Road. I can see him in Costa having a coffee here. We're just in a village. So it is a special, unique you know, the local fighters, you're seeing them out and about and stuff. So that is quite unique, and I enjoy it like that.
And I think it definitely, as I said, I think it definitely does show. And from that as well, obviously building those relationships with your fighters, obviously, you had, on social media you had, I think, I forgot if it was Jamie or Gavin McDonald, and then Maxi Hughes also kind of talked about having you as a manager and how grateful they are to you being manager. You have a lot of like horror stories about within boxing. When you have fighters who you have managed and still manage to say such nice things, how does that feel?
That's what it's all about for me, to take that. But this is a brutal business, and there's a lot of people out here to earn every penny they can get. And I've been a fighter. I've been on ticket deals, I've been on TV, and I've been punched on nose. And when I get in that ring as a fighter, I will put my life online. So I'm for the fighter. I've been there, I've done it. There's many managers out there like that, but you know, you hear some horror stories that these agents coming in now, and not even license holders, and like you hear stories where like with fighters being stopped 20 and 25% of the fight purses, and it's like, it just, you know, in my opinion, everybody's got an opinion, and don't get me wrong, everybody deserves their worth, but if you're willing to take more than 15% of a professional boxer of their earnings, then I think it's quite brutal. They're the ones in there risking their life. So I don't take big management fees. When I work for a fighter, I work very, very hard, and that's just how I work. I'm quite obsessive with it, but you got to remember, these fighters are the ones that getting the brains punched in for a living, and they need looking after, they need help, they need good advice. And I suppose because I've been there and done it, and I've got plenty of experience now, and experience with different fighters in different TV contracts and working on contracts in world title fights and other things, you gain that experience. So yeah, I'm definitely work for the fighter, that's for sure. But like you said, when you get a close-knit team, then I think all that comes natural. But for me, the fact that I've boxed and been punched on the nose and appreciate earning a pound, I do my best for my fighter kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think it shows as well with the opportunities that you've got with fighters. Obviously, you've got Terri Harper, you got the IBO world title shot, and then it went into the WBC world title shot. Maxi Hughes he's gone on this ridiculous run, beating John McCarroll all the way to winning the IBO title and then defending it recently as well. Obviously, that brings in Jason Cunningham as well, and load all the fighters league. Going into that, we'll go on to kind of Terry's next fight. It's looking like it's going to be against Hannah Rankin. Obviously, I've seen you and I think Noel was
Noel.
You have a bit of friendly banter on Twitter, kind of. How did that fight come about?
Well, randomly, unexpectedly, but Terry's very big girl to be making them lower weight divisions, and fight date kept being pushed back, and she's been training. It's been going on a few months, and I was like, just basically speaking to Eddie and said, look Eddie, if we're not getting a world title opportunity at 135, I don't think I want to be boiling Terri down to that weight if it's not a world title fight. And I've realised, through the experience in women's boxing, and especially the financial side, it's very important to be a world champion, especially when you've been a world champion and you've experienced the world championship monies. It's important to be world champion. So it was just a matter of, I had a good chat with Eddie and said, look, we're going to have to, if there's no world title opportunity at 135, we're willing to go up the weights for a world title opportunity. And then a few days went past, and me and Eddie spoke again, and it was suggested, what about the Hannah Rankin fight? She's not got a fight, she's world champion. Is that weight category too far? And I spoke to Terri about it. Within 30 seconds she just said, let's go for it. And that's the type of fighter she is. I mean, who turns a world title fight down? World title fight down. That's kind of where we're at. So it seems to have gone well on social media. I think people are surprised Terri going up that far. And yeah, I've got a lot of respect for Noel and Anna. They've come up the unconventional way, very similar to that we have. She's come from the white collar. Noel's done a great job with her. He's a nice man. I do speak to Noel, and Terri has had an experience of sparring once with Anna, so we have got on, and they've always been supportive with Terri on socials, and we've been supportive So there's going to be no animosity. At the end of the day, it's business. These girls are fighting. It's a fantastic opportunity for Terri, one that I'm very confident in, otherwise I won't be, and one they'll be very confident in. So, but it seems to have got the public's imagination on social media, so, you know, some people think this is a job too far for Terri, and I think all eyes will be watching, and what an opportunity to make history, go up that far and be. She was Britain's first world champion. Obviously Katie were from Ireland, so she's got another chance to keep creating history. Now she's got a chance to be Britain's first 2-weight world champion. So it's like there's a lot, you know, there's a lot more to it, and it's almost them boundaries and the barriers. But let's just remember that she's still only 25. I think with Terri's athleticism and her size, she can win world titles in at least 5 weight divisions, at least. And after winning this world title at 154, we'll scream and shout, see if there's any opportunity at 135, because she won't have much time making 135. It's got to be in the next 12 to 18 months, because she is a big girl. But 135 is where we could go to if we had an opportunity and notice.
I really do hope that happens. When you guys announced that Terri was going moving up to lightweight, I feel like obviously Katie Taylor has all the belts, and that. I think my brother told me there was a rumour about Pro Power versus Terri. I was booking my flights. So
yeah, well, we've never ever spoke to Matchroom about that fight, and it's never been suggested. And Terri's like, do you know when you actually get an hero and you're starstruck? Every time Terri's boxed on a few of Katie's undercards, and she's absolutely starstruck by her. She's you know, Terri idolises her. But at the same time, she would love the opportunity to share a ring with somebody that you've looked up to all your life. I mean, it'd be like some young footballer playing alongside one of the greatest, you know. Yeah, and so you know that fight would be Terri's dream fight, and it's just one of them. It's not something that we scream and shouting over. We're not Terri's. We stay in his own lane. Terri's that type of personality, but. Winning another world title will open a lot of doors for Terri. I think she's capable of putting on a clinic performance. She has a chance to look really good, and I think everybody will. Terri was probably behind Katie the most talked about female boxer a couple of years ago before this defeat and her injury, should we say, not the defeat, the injury. She was flying high. Great wins on her record. Your Wallstroms, your Obanoffs. Fantastic fight with Natasha Jonas. Probably one of the best female fights that we've seen. You can't argue with that. So it's like she has, you know, she's got an opportunity again to say, I'm back, I'm here now, come on, let's go again. You know, it's been an hard 12 months for Terri and all us involved. So we're dead excited for that fight, really up for it, and very grateful for opportunity as well by Anna Rankin's team and also Matchroom delivering it.
And I'm definitely going to be booking my tickets through you, Stefy, to go.
Make sure you get them through us, because then Terri gets a 10% on tickets.
100%. And then also we've got Maxi Hughes.
Yeah.
Kind of floating around again, deal in principle with Kid Galahad.
Yeah.
And then within the last couple of days almost, Ryan Garcia throws his
just a crazy situation. Do you know what? It's not a good situation to be in, but at the same time, a great situation, because we originally were in talks for that fight, and they did send an official offer, but it was a low-balling offer, and it was Maxi's deserves much more than they were happening. And what they did offer is Maxi can get in and around that. Take away, you know, your foreign taxes and your percentages. He can get in and around that here, fighting in home corner, defending an IBO world title. So negotiations went on for a couple of weeks, dragged on. That fight fell through. The opportunity came with Kid Galahad. Them talks were going on for weeks. We got to agreeing terms. The financial side we're happy with. It was very good money for Maxi, and personally I think it's a great fight. Yorkshire Derby, it's got all the ingredients. Obviously Maxi with Warrington brings all that excitement in. Barry's a great fighter, loads of respect for the kid, and so that would agree, nothing signed, just with agreed terms. And then literally the night of agreeing terms, Team Garcia reach out regarding Garcia and Maxi again. So one of them at minute. Well, I don't know what's happening. We're just in limbo. So that is back on the cards. I think basically where we're at is Garcia is the only Garcia and Javante Davis. That's what they want, but is that really going to happen? And it's a matter, if it doesn't happen, then surely Max is the front runner as a IBO world champion, not one of the major governing bodies. Everything else is tied up. Max is available, and so that fight is a possibility. We're just trying to nail what is happening over the next week or two. So I just think we're hanging fire for a couple of weeks, seeing that fight with Garcia could materialise, and then if not, we'll pursue other fight, whether it's with Barry or Barry takes another fight and fights later on down the line. I'm not sure. Obviously, Max on the promoters. We're just touching base with us. I touch base with Maxi, and we put ideas. But Max's heart is absolutely set on Garcia. That's his desire. He feels like the opportunity were taken away, but only taken away because the low ball offer, and he thinks he's got another lifeline now, so all his eggs are in one basket. That's a dream, and you can't deny him for being in this, for wanting to sit back and pursue that. So yeah, I think that'll all unfold in the next week or so.
And I think as well, I think Max deserves that fight as well. Like the run from John O'Carroll, kind of that no one was really sure what was going to happen. Maybe it was kind of like a fluke victory, let's say, and then it goes into Portugal, and then just absolutely pisses through the division.
Yeah, just crazy. It's an example of, you know, when somebody's got some confidence. Do you know when all they've ever wanted to do will win a British title, and then they're on this momentum, riding the crest of the wave, winning good fighters, and not just winning comfortable. Since the John O'Carroll fight, and I just think he oozes confidence. And even you see, I go over, watch him sparring, and you can see that it's in him. And now finally, I just think he believes. He'll be looking at Ryan Garcia, I beat him. He'll be looking at Kid Galahad, I beat him. Whereas before he might have questioned that. No more. And that saying, I think a confident fighter is a dangerous fighter. People look at Maxi and think he's not a puncher. He's very, very strong. He's very solid. There's a lot more to him than meets the eye. So, yeah, exciting times. It seems to be all happening on social media. What is happening, what ain't happening. But I think it'll all unfold over the next week or so.
And I think your video when you met Garcia,
just mad. It like I'm Maxi Hughes' manager. Oh yeah, the guy from the UK who wants to fight me, right? And we had a picture, and it was just, it was surreal. The barrier stopped me from actually, having a proper natter with him and stuff. And then security come and whisked him off. But yeah, it was quite funny, but went well on socials.
I like that video a lot. And then going on, kind of the IBO as a world title, kind of it does get a lot of stick on social media, or the fighters who win those titles, they've got a major achievement, and there's also always some person, or maybe even sometimes on the broadcast, kind of slating the title. Kind of, obviously, I know that Maxi's held on the title, Terri's held the title before. I think you've had a few fighters kind of challenge for those belts as well. Kind of, what are your opinions kind of on that belt and what that belt does for fighters?
One, it opens doors, it gets them higher pay, and we know it's not a major governing body. We know it's not one of the big four. We know that. We don't try and sell it at that. But you try and tell one of them fighters that beat a good fighter and won one of them titles that it's not a world title. It's like, you can't win, especially with social media. It's human nature that people just like to wait on anybody having any success. Like, we're not selling it as a major governing body, but it stands up. It's sanctioned by every governing body in the world, and them fighters are proud. When I promoted Terri Harper versus Nizivo Bell for the IBO World Title, I was a proud promoter putting that on. The sanction fees at same putting a WBA World Title fight or anything else. It's not, it opens doors. It gives you a championship, and the IBO do a good job. They didn't let us, when I was picking an opponent or looking for an opponent for Terri, they're not 3 or 4 back. They want, they're stuck within the guidelines or the rules of that governing body. So Yeah, I mean, them fighters are proud champions, whether it's a central area, an intercontinental, or the IBO to the WBC champion at world. Them fighters, when they get in that ring, they're putting their life on line. Let's remember they're putting their life on line. If they can lift that belt there, whatever belt it is, it means something. And it's as simple as that. But it's easy to sit at home in your mum's bedroom on your keyboard and just, yeah, that's not a world title, that's not this, that's not that. Well, get off your ass off that settee and try and win one. It might mean something to you.
Do you think it kind of depends on who is holding that title, like the IBO title?
Yeah,
because Golovkin and
yeah,
AJ,
but Golovkin, AJ, you know, you can sit back and be nerds and go through who's got it. It just is what it is, isn't it? I mean, I can remember when I was a young pro, and WBO world title didn't mean anything to anyone. Now, this content gets used a lot, and obviously it's grown into the governing body, but you know, it's just, it is what it is, basically. It is what it is. It's IBO Championship at World. It's not one of your 4 leading men. Whether people give it any respect or they don't give it any respect, it's there, and it's a belt, and them fighters are putting their life on line to win it.
Perfect. And then kind of going on from that, obviously you mentioned you're a promoter as well, and I said before I'm going to give you your time to be kind of Eddie, go through the shows that go through the shows that you have coming up. So yeah, look, go through. I think I've got 2 shows in September 9th, September 17th.
Yeah, two cracking shows. We're at Doncaster Dome. It's a cracking venue. It's somewhere. It's got a place in my heart. I've promoted there for many years. Boxed there as a fighter, but we've got 2 cracking 10-round contests. Lee Appleyard has got a chance to win 2 championships at 2 weights. He's fighting Central Area Super Lightweight title versus Dan Bove. Cracking fight. Dan Bove's supposed to be a bit of a knockout artist. Only 1 defeat. Lee don't take a step back. Wears his heart on his sleeve. That fight, Lee sold hundreds of tickets. His support, his opponent's supposed to bring his support. It's going to be great atmosphere. And then Louis Sylvester's stepping out of 6-round contention. He's going up to championship level. He's fighting the recent Midlands area champion Joe Ducker, and they're boxing for an eliminator for the English lightweight title. So two cracking 10 rounds on there, and then I've got me run-of-the-mill undefeated prospects coming through on the undercard. September 17th, promoting at Rotherham Magna Centre with Ryan Rhodes. That's a cracking contest. We've got a really good intriguing 10-rounder. Domon, undefeated Central Area champion from Wakefield, versus his boxing dad and Tetley, who's actually from Bradford, so that's like a West Yorkshire derby. Former British title challenger, WBO European champion. That's a cracking main event we've got there. And then same again as undefeated prospects and whatever coming through. We've got Ricky Reeves, the prize fighter finalist, on that card. And then I've got a show to announce on the 22nd of October at a new venue in Doncaster. And main events for that will be Conor Coggle from Hull contesting the Central Area featherweight title on that. So full details will be announced on that. And then maybe I might do a few more before Christmas. And I might be able to afford an holiday then.
Stefy Bull, thank you very much.
No problem, thank
Cheers.
you.